for opening up your home. We couldn't do this without nice folks like you. And you know, Chap talked about me a little bit, and I need to talk about Chap a little bit. And as he said, we did come into the Senate at the same time, have become great friends. And you know, it's great to have a person like Chap representing not only you all up here in Northern Virginia, but the entire Commonwealth. And you know, one thing about Chap knows what he believes in, and he says what he believes, and that is so important in Richmond. And I can tell you that you won't find a better representative for all of you, not only in Northern Virginia, but in the Commonwealth. The other thing I will say about Chap, we have a basketball games every year. It's a benefit for the Massey Cancer Center there in Richmond. So it's the Senate versus the House. And if you can think about the odds, you know, there are 100 delegates, there are 40 senators. Right. Most of the delegates tend to be a little bit younger. But anyway, there are about 5 of us. Is Charles, is Barker here tonight, George? Nice. But anyway, there's a group of us that we give it our best every year, and Chap is the leader of the Senate team, so you can thank him. We come up a little bit short.
Even though we had D'Angelo.
That's right, we did have D'Angelo Hall playing for our team and still lost, if that tells you. But anyway, thank you all so much. And the other point that I wanted to make, a couple points, and I'll be brief because I know you all have other things to do, but I really appreciate the welcome that I have had in Northern Virginia. As you all know and can probably tell by the way I talked, I come from a different part of the Commonwealth. I grew up over on the Eastern Shore on a little farm outside of Onancock, and it is very, very different from Northern Virginia. And so we have spent a lot of time up here during the primary and during the general election, and I just have very much enjoyed getting to know everybody, and again, I appreciate the kindness that you have showed me, and I've learned a lot about Northern Virginia and just really enjoyed traveling around, and I look forward to representing you all in the Commonwealth. So I appreciate that. A couple things that we have been able to do together as Democrats that I think are important. I actually was the patron of the smoking ban in restaurants back in our Commonwealth a bit safer for us to go and dine and for our families. I've done a lot of work. I know Chap and I are both big sports fans, but as a pediatric neurologist, I take care of a lot of student athletes who suffer from concussion. So we have introduced legislation that has been successful and hopefully has made it safer for our student athletes out there. Done a lot of work with childhood obesity. As you all may know, about 1 in 3 of our children now are either overweight or obese. And, so we're continuing to work on that effort. And so anyway, so there's been some good things, but I do want to mention a couple things that I have fought against. And you know, we up there, when we're in Richmond, we advocate for things that we believe in, but we also fight for those things that aren't in line with our values and principles. And 2 of those that I think have been an embarrassment for the Commonwealth. The first is the assault on women's reproductive health, and you know, that started with the infamous ultrasound mandate. We then had the TRAP regulations that have already shut down 2 of our clinics in Virginia, women's clinics, and then the personhood bill. And just so you know, and why these elections are so important, why these pieces of legislation, they have such consequences, but you know, that would criminalize most forms of contraception in Virginia. It would also criminalize in vitro fertilization. I teach at the medical school in Northam. That's really what put us on the map there. So anyway, you know, not to get into a discussion of all the social issues, but as I tell people, it's really no need, I don't think, for legislators to be telling women what they should and shouldn't be doing with their bodies.
Yes.